Enough room for graphics. Oh, hi guys. I'm multitasking because it's Friday morning. I gotta finish up. This is the last of the commercials I had to do this week. I've had shoots for 2 different clients and 2 commercials for each client. So this is my 4th commercial this week. I gotta finish this up this morning, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do for the Lynn Life. So I'm bringing you along. I've got to finish up this. I got something really cool that I want to tell you about later, and I got an errand to run. So let's get going. My name is Jonathan, and I'm a caregiver for my wife Lynn, who has a permanent brain injury. Things are a bit different now, but we're doing the best that we can. Join us as we experience the Lynn Life. Alright, so, yeah, this is the script right here. I'm going off of that. I also have this script right here. Sometimes I'll go back and forth on, and I'm just in the graphics stage. I've already put a disclaimer up, and this is a Jeep Renegade, and apparently there's a lease. Let's see, Renegades. $249 per month for 39 months. Sounds good. So I've got to put that in, and I'm going to finish this guy up. And then I have to get it out. I put it up on Vimeo and I send it off to the client for approval. I also have something cool. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what it is yet. I'll tell you a little bit later after I finish this and after I go off on my errands. But I'll give you a little hint. This right here, this stuff, is changing. It's changing. I'm adding to it. I'm making a major investment. So that's going to be cool. And I want to show you in detail what I'm going to be doing. But I got to finish this commercial. I could have finished it last night, but I was a little tired. And I like to finish these things up when I'm fresh. It's so easy to mess up on something. You know, you leave a letter out. You get so caught up on the visual that you mess up on the basic stuff. You know, you spell something wrong, or you leave something out on the disclaimer, something. So I'm going to turn the camera off here in a second so I can concentrate on this and get it right. But then you're going to go off on an errand with me. How's that? Okay, here I'll let you watch me a little bit here. I got new 23 Renegade. I put that up there. That's why positioning of the vehicle is important, because you got to put all this around it. And I'm going to put this $sign and make it a little bit bigger. Put that in there. And I got per month, 39 months. I already have the disclaimer in there. Alright, so that's how I set up the graphics, and then there's a little bit of animation and stuff that I'll do. Now I want the vehicle to kind of whip in there before the graphics. I want the other one to whip out of there. So I put those in here. These are things that I kind of have preset. See, there's a thing with another vehicle. I got to put those graphics in, and that's going to whip out, and then this is going to whip in, and then these graphics are going to come up. So, and then I'll have that leave. This one is here. I may reposition that one a little bit, maybe make that a little bigger. This is a Jeep Compass. Okay. And same here. Let's make that one a little bigger. See, letting you watch it. Oh, you see how these things are built. There it is built. It's not rocket science, but it does require the right computer. And video is very taxing on a computer, especially if you get into, you know, high definition, and then 4K really takes a lot of energy. So that's why later I'm going to make an announcement of what I'm going to be upgrading to. So, alright, I'm going to shut you off yet again so I can finish this up, and then I'll head on my errand. Alright, so this commercial is done and should be ready to go out. It should be on in a couple of days. I hope I spelled everything right, because that's embarrassing. Okay, well, before I can go to the store, I've got to get some snow off. All the snow off the car. Of course, we've got all the Christmas down from outside. It's always a pain though. It's not much snow. We're supposed to get quite a bit more maybe this weekend. Hopefully not. I have a feeling it's only going to be like 4 inches or something. This is just a dusting. Okay. How's that? That's enough. It's really light, fluffy stuff. Okay. Okay. Down the road, my defroster's not quite heated up yet. Yeah, this type of weather gets real old fast. Okay, we've been spared from it for quite a while now, and it hasn't been very cold, hasn't been very snowy. But let me tell you, when it happens, it seems like it's been happening for a long time quickly, even though it hasn't. So we've been spared for almost the first half of it. Well, not quite half. You know, we can normally start getting snow in November. We get all the way through December. January and February are rough, and then March too. I've seen some of the worst snowstorms in March, but at least we've been spared some of them. You know, some of the months that's normally kind of rough. So, but anyways, on my way to the drugstore actually right now, pick up some prescriptions for Lynn, and to discuss one of my prescriptions, an asthma inhaler that I had put in a request. It said it was going to be filled, and I haven't heard anything. I suspect it's because I have a new prescription card that I forgot to give them. So, got to do that and get that straightened out. It was a new prescription card that I was given early November with a letter saying that starting January 1st to use this card, and I've forgotten about that. So I'll go get that straightened out now. Okay. Got the prescriptions talked with them about my card. They already had the card number, so that's not an issue. But at the beginning of every year, there's always some new rules. Now, I take a inhaler for my asthma. So new rule starting January 1st is every time I renew that, they need a authorization from the physician, and they've put in a request and they haven't gotten back. So I will call the physician who prescribes that and try to hurry that up when I get home. But other than that, we're all set. I got a bunch of Lynn's stuff, one of my other prescriptions. Now we're going to head home. All right, back from the pharmacy, called my doctor's office, told them that they needed certification to refill my prescription, and they said they'd look into that, and so hopefully all that's being taken care of. But now for my announcement of what I'm going to be doing, and it comes with an explanation, and that's why I opened with a commercial being edited. Technology is great, right? We all love it. We love our little gizmos and everything. But there's no end to it. There's never an end. So computers have to keep getting faster and faster and faster, especially if you're doing video production. Not just for vlogging, but in my case, commercially. And I have software I use from Adobe, and they keep upgrading their software. So each time I upgrade that, it's more taxing on the computer, and the computer runs slower. And time is money. So in order to work quicker, I need my computer to work quicker. Now, what I have right now, I'm editing on an iMac, and it's beefed up. It's a beefed up one. It needs to be. And I could get through, I'm sure I can go through the rest of this year, 2024, no problem with what I have. However, I want more than that. I am not interested in the computer slowing down, and I want things faster. Be able to work faster. It gets a little frustrating at times. I want to be able to do more things. So I'm going directly to Apple. I've already been on their sites. This is something I've planned for a while. I said in 2024, the beginning of 2024, I'm upgrading. I'm going to get a new computer and everything. So then it's a matter of checking, what do I want to get? And when you buy a computer directly through Apple, you can customize it exactly the way you want. And I'm not interested in an iMac anymore. I want more than that. I want something that I can continue possibly to upgrade. Add more RAM or whatever, without having to start all over again. So first thing I looked at was like the Mac Pro. Mac Pro is, I've had them at my work before, but they're very, very expensive. Yes, they're quick and everything. This is what you edit major motion pictures on and things like that. So they start at about $7,000 just for the computer. You still have to buy the monitor. And they start at $7,000. You probably would end up going a little higher than that. So I decided, nope, not going to devote that kind of money. And the monitors go for almost $2,000. So I'm with a Mac Pro, I'd be starting at about $9,000 with one monitor. Typically, you'd use two. But when you're spending your own money, suddenly one monitor is enough. So I'm definitely going with one monitor. So starting at $9,000 with a Mac Pro. So I decided I'm not doing that, and I'm going with the Mac Studio, and I'm going to customize it. So Mac Studio, I'm showing you here, is still very fast. That's just a little box, but it does a lot, and I'll buy the monitor to go with that. You have two options of the two basic ones. You got it starts at $2,000, and then you have a $4,000 option. I'm going somewhere in between. I'm going to go with the $2,000 option and then customize it. More RAM, and some other things in it. So I'm gonna customize it. It's gonna be lightning fast compared to what I'm using right now. So I'm figuring this will get me quite a few years. Maybe even as many as 4 years down the road, I could easily still be using this. Maybe even 5. And I'd be happy. And then I'm going to get a new monitor as well. This is the monitor that I want to get. Yeah, I'm going to get the Studio display. Remember I mentioned the Mac Pro? Well, their display starts at $5,000. It's 6K. The Studio display is 5K. So you've heard of 4K? This is 5K. I don't think I need 6K yet. So typically you'd buy 2 of these. I'm only going to buy 1. But if you're going to buy the Pro display, you're looking at $10,000 just for 2 monitors, plus the computer. You could be looking at 20 grand. If you want to edit motion pictures, you're going to start at about 20 grand. So I'm not doing that. So I'm going to get the Studio, the Mac Studio, and a Studio display, and they start at $1,600. You can go with the, you also have choices of the glass. You got the standard glass. That's the that display starts at $1,600, or the nano texture glass, and that starts at basically $1,900. I'm getting standard. I'm going to get standard glass in this one. It's crazy, So you pick that, and then you got to go down. Do you want the tilt adjustable stand? Well, yes, that's what I would get for the $1,600. Or you get the tilt and height adjustable stand. That is $2,000. No, I'm not getting either that. I'm getting the tilt adjustable stand. That's all I need. That's going to be fine. So then I should be set now with this Studio to start doing more editing in 4K. Okay, and those of you who don't understand that, what you're watching now is HD, and HD is 1920 by 1080. That's 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. That's the resolution. And 4K is double that. It's 3,840 by 2,160. So it's twice. It's like over 8 million pixels on the screen. So it's twice the resolution of HD, which is what most people watch in your television at home. A lot of the streaming services will offer 4K, so you might be watching things in 4K there. I'd watch football in 4K, and you could see the difference. but it's much sharper picture. So what I might do for you guys going forward, what does this mean to you, right? If I decide to do a vlog that warrants doing it completely in 4K, shooting it in 4K, editing it in 4K for you, say it's something that's going to be fairly picturesque, then perhaps I'll cut it all in 4K and put it up on YouTube in 4K. So you might see that in 2024 once I get this new computer. So it's a big investment. Probably looking at $5,000 in that area. Maybe, probably more. Probably end up over $5,000. But I've planned for this, so it's not a spontaneous type of purchase. I'm going to do that. I need to do it professionally to stay competitive that way. So I'm doing it. And looking forward to it. Maybe this weekend I'll order it. And it'll take a little while to get it in here, set it up. I have software I need to, download and transfer some stuff from this iMac to the studio. And I'm going to keep this iMac. I'm keeping that. There's nothing wrong with it. So I'm going to keep that more or less as my backup. Maybe I'll continue editing some vlogs on that. We'll see how that goes. So it's nice to have a second computer around, just in case something happens. You never know. So that's where we are. And so this should complete the Lynn Life video that I had no idea what I was going to do. But hopefully, if you've stuck around all the way to the end, you may have found something interesting. Maybe you learned something about what 4K is and what HD is and what the equipment's like. I hope you did. But I think that's going to wrap it up. And we'll see you next time on the Lynn Life.